We started developing lentiviral vectors in the early 90s. We developed, derived from HIV, the AIDS virus, which we completely gutted off to make it a tool to introduce new genetic information into cells that need to be, broadly speaking, repaired. And these cells then express this genetic information, and the daughters of these cells express it, and the daughter of these cells still express it. So this is what we exploited to repair cells in people that suffer from genetic defects. So typically, children, for instance, that are unable to eliminate some toxics because some of their blood cells are devoid of the gene that codes for a protein which normally eliminates the said toxics. And these children would typically develop neurodevelopmental problem because these toxins accumulate notably in the brain. These children start being able to eliminate this toxin, and then they're allowed to have normal development and a normal life. But for it to happen, we need to have the right partners that will support the basic research work.
The technology transfer offices are at the interface between research and industry. We provide the contractual framework to do the collaboration agreements, and we identify inventions, work with patent attorneys to protect them, and then license them to industrial partners. For example, wherein it costs like $1.2 billion to develop a drug and takes 10 years. So a pharma company wouldn't want to take a technology before it's really de-risked. And when we're in the university, we can only take it so far, because after that it becomes too applied and the researchers are no longer interested in developing it. And frankly, we don't have a mission to really develop products. This is where Clayton Foundation comes in, because they provide such funding that allows us to take technologies much further than we normally can, and they fund the research and take it to a stage where the pharma companies might actually get interested in them.
We had patented this technology and we're looking for a partner to carry out the clinical trials, since that's something the foundation does not do. And I remember we went to the pharma companies, we went to biotech companies, we went to the big venture capitalists, and they said, no, do not come to us with a gene therapy program. And this is where DDA Trono played a key role.
I mean, many people thought we were completely nuts to try to make medication out of virus that killed people. It seemed to be pretty out in left field. But we knew how the virus worked. We knew how we could exploit some of its features without taking any risk. And so we developed that.
So we said we will hold on to this technology and we'll find a partner. And then this happened when this little company called Bluebird Bio, a couple of years after we did a deal with them, they ended up going public, and at that point raised about $116 million. And this allowed them to engage in this very long and difficult process of carrying out the expensive gene therapy trials.
The clinical trials were encouraging, successful, and it finally made it to approval.
This product now is called Skysona. Again, it is used to treat childhood cerebral adrenoleukodystrophy, and it just got approval by the FDA at the end of last year. And the first child who's outside of a clinical trial received this treatment in March.
We believed that what we were doing was right when we first invented or developed lentiviral vectors.
So I'm a strong believer that innovation comes largely out of universities and academia. And the reason is that it's very important to give researchers liberty and the ability to explore in areas, knowing that a lot of this exploration will lead to nowhere, but some of it will contribute in a very impactful way.
Some universities have set up platforms for drug discovery and development. Others rely on funding. We are also developing currently a technology maturation fund, which is quite modest, and we will try and invest in the development of these technologies.
It's important to have the universities involved, but universities cannot ultimately develop the drugs into products. It's a very, very long process to get there with very, very expensive clinical trials. And that's where we need to go to the private sector. We need industry to take on this rigorous drug development process and allow the research to become products?
I think the field of gene therapy is coming to age. I think now that there are examples of situations where it works, where it saves life, where it completely changes. You know, you have little kids that live in a bubble, and suddenly they can be next to the Christmas tree or playing football with their friends in the courtyard. That changes quite significantly.
This is also why this particular technology is so impactful, because it not only saved patients, more and more gene therapy technology will come out and be approved.
This type of gene delivery system, not just the one we sort of developed, but others find their applications now in cancer, Parkinson, maybe one day in Alzheimer's disease.
This is the beginning of the real gene therapy revolution.